Hello and welcome to The Pulse. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, and on all our social media handles. We're joining you on TV. Coming up on The Pulse, NPP petitions the diplomatic community in Ghana over what it describes as growing state-sponsored political persecution, the criminalization of dissent, and the erosion of democratic freedoms as it doubles down on its accusations against the Mahama-led administration of human rights abuses. We have details as the party makes a 6-point appeal calling on the diplomatic community to intervene. We speak to the party's national organizer this afternoon right here on The Pulse. Supreme Court grants application by 14 civil society organizations to join a case challenging the constitutionality of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. We've got details as applicants welcome the decision, expressing confidence that their experience and expertise will assist the Apex Court in determining the matter. Government defends continued absence of substantive defense minister after 10 months after the tragic death of Omane Buama, insisting there have been no security lapses under the current arrangement.
By and large, we have heard of what government has functioned effectively. There's not been any lapses as far as I know in terms of Ghana's defense architecture.
Heads of 2 senior high schools cite Ghana Buffer Stock Company for non-disclosure of cost of hundreds of bags of food supplies supplied to schools since 2024.
Only accompanied the foods with the way bill without the values. So when the auditors cited it, we quickly wrote to them thinking they would respond. They never responded to us.
That is still going on. Yes, please.
We've got details plus the latest from the Public Accounts Committee, where a number of senior high schools are taking their turn. Later in the bulletin, we bring you the story of a young woman who lost her sight at age 8 but remains determined to become a journalist despite facing rejection.
I was having headache and I took some paracetamol, and the next day I was feeling pains on the eye. I was admitted. From that time, I didn't know what happened again. It became serious on my skin.
The latest of these and other stories coming up in the next 3 hours on The Pulse. The program is brought to you by Defendril Cough Expectorant. Defendril, breathe easy, feel better. My name is Kenneth Gyasi. Don't go anywhere. Welcome to the program. The opposition New Patriotic Party has petitioned the diplomatic community in Ghana over what it describes as growing state-sponsored political persecution, the criminalization of dissent, and the erosion of democratic freedoms in the country. The petition follows a series of recent arrests by the authorities over various issues. NPP argues that these arrests amount to political intimidation and persecution. Caleb Ziblim of our research desk is joining me in studio with details of the 8-page document. Caleb, first, take us through the number of individuals who have been arrested recently.
So, according to the NPP, about 14, so more than 14 of their members and people affiliated to the NPP or sympathetic towards the NPP have been picked up and arrested so far. According to them, about 14 persons have been arrested so far, and then a majority of them have been arrested based on Section 208 of Ghana's Criminal Code, which talks about making statements which are likely to cause fear and panic. And under the Criminal Code is a misdemeanor. So the NPP is fighting back, saying that that we should not criminalize free speech. And then most of the members who have been picked up, they've been basically making some statements which should not be considered criminal. If you go through the list of persons, if you can go to the next slide, the first person mainly is the Bono regional chairman of the NPP, that's Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Abronya DC. He has been picked up. There's some controversy going on about his bail conditions.
Right.
The minority leader, Afenyo Markin, just released some pictures of the judgments of the circuit court, which says that if they decide to give Abronya DC bail, he might go on and keep making some of these statements, which is why the courts, in its wisdom, decided to remand him and detain him till the end of the trial. So we have the Bono regional chairman of the NPP, Abronya DC. We also have David Esando. He's the Agona West constituency organizer for the NPP as well. And he also posted something regarding the energy sector, saying Dumsor is back. And then based on this and other statements, the officials at the BNI and some of the police service also picked them up. Again, we have Abubakar Yakubu. He's the Sunyani East constituency organizer. And then he also shared some images of the president in a not so good light. So a majority of persons. So we have the Abronya DC, David Sando, Abubakar Yakubu, Prince Ofori, Daniel Adomako, Emmanuel Kwache, Yaira Abiu, and then Samuel Amatodor. Sorry. So there's a long list. There are other members of the NPP that we did not include on the list, like Mr. Kumi, Alfred Kumi. He was picked up last year, right, regarding some petition that he sends about some Supreme Court judges meeting and meeting in a restaurant and discussing some matters of a case which he overheard. So these are the list of persons that the NPP is saying that they have been picked up by the ruling NDC, or driven mainly by the ruling NDC, and they are trying to stifle free speech, which the party is fighting against. Now, in the petition you spoke about, before we came on air, the NPP released an 8-page petition directed to the diplomatic corps here in Accra. And they are saying that the NPP has documented some of the cases I discussed earlier, and they brought it to the attention of the diplomatic corps to help them intervene in the matter. Now, the NPP is asking them to do some certain things for them, or help them engage governments with the current situation that's going on. They want them to monitor the situation, also reaffirm the freedom of expression in Ghana here. Again, they want them to engage government on their behalf. So the diplomatic corps should speak with some of the government agencies and try and help them understand why this is happening and whether it's actually a way the NDC government is trying to stifle free speech. Again, they want them to help them speak to the authorities to stop the arrest of some of their members for making certain pronouncements, encourage the state's institutions to be neutral, because the NPP believes that some of the agencies which are supposed to be neutral are acting at the behest of the NDC, and again, support and safeguard democracy in the country. So this is mainly why the NPP had decided to petition the diplomatic corps, because over 14 of their members and people affiliated to the NPP have been picked up under the Criminal Code Section 208, which talks about making statements which is likely to cause fear and panic in the Republic, which is also a misdemeanor under the Criminal Code. So about 14 persons have been picked up. Some of them are currently in custody. They've been denied bail because some of the courts say that if they released these persons, they'll go ahead to keep making some of the statements which they should not be making. So again, this is what the NPP sent to the diplomatic corps earlier today, and then they've been trying to get the government to back down.
Caleb Zublim, thank you very much. Well, let's still stay on this matter because the minority in Parliament is demanding the release of NPP Bono Regional Chairman Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Abronya DC, over concerns about his worsening health condition while in BNI custody. The group says despite reports that his condition is critical, access to him remains restricted, raising fresh concerns over his continued detention following a court remand. My colleague Maxwell Akufo-Addo has more in this report.
The minority in Parliament has raised concerns over the continuous detention of the Bono regional chairman of the NPP, Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Abronya DC, despite the fact that he is in a critical health condition. Speaking at a media engagement ahead of Parliament's reopening on the 21st of May 2026, that's this Thursday, MP for Ofuasi Airebi and then a lawyer to Abronya DC reveals that even family members are not allowed to visit Abronya DC.
In trying to remand Abronya and all of other persons, the information we are getting is that Abronya is in very, very difficult health conditions now while in custody, and they are not allowing lawyers or family to have access to him, and it's just because they don't like how he communicates or what he says. In a democracy, you may disagree with what somebody says, but to use arrest, detention, denial of bail as a tool to try and suppress the voices of opposition is totally unacceptable in a democracy.
He describes such an act as one that is outdated and a threat to our democratic governance.
We are told that, we are his lawyers, we are told that his health condition has become very, very severe. They are not giving us access to him in custody. It was only his wife that they allowed to see him very briefly just at the tail end of last week. And she informs us that his health condition is very dire. And it is important that the authorities understand that these Gestapo tactics of 1981-82, they are dead. We are in a democracy. You don't like what the man says is a different matter, but to deny him bail, put him in custody till when? Till the case is over, and you won't allow his lawyers to see him, you won't allow family to see him on a regular basis. What is this?
The Minority Chief Whip and MP for Nsawam Adwajiri, Frank Anodompre, attributes this to the government's continuous efforts to divert individuals or citizens' attention from pressing challenges in the economy and failure to deliver on their promises to Ghanaians.
People you can cowed or put fear into. It's not the NPP. Even with their numbers, this government has deceived us. They'll deceive us. If you could reduce cocoa price, you said you were going to increase to 6,000, and you reduce it now, it is now 2,500. I have visited more than 5 regions that grow cocoa. The purchasing class and the buying companies are saying they've not received the money. Is that not a scam? That is definitely a scam.
For the engagement ahead of parliamentary opening, the minority remains hopeful that this will help them and strengthen the caucus's ability to carry out activities in parliament. For Joy News, I'm Maxwell Akrobotu, Accra City Hotel.
And back here in the studio, I'm joined by the NPP's national organizer, Henry Nana Boakye. Henry, grateful for your time this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Let's start with the petition to the diplomatic community. What prompted that petition and what was in it, really?
Yes, thank you very much, Ken, and very good afternoon to your viewers. Yes, in a political and democratic space, clearly the diplomatic community has a role to play, and they've become part of our system, our political ecosystem already. So it is important. In fact, we have listed a number of bodies that will be visiting. It is important for us to display to the entire world how President Mahama and his government, they are stifling free speech, they are suffocating free speech, they are oppressing free speech, and how we believe that our democratic credentials now is under attack, right? So it was important. And today, the Moroccan High Commissioner is the dean of the diplomatic corps. So she was the channel through which we could get to all the other bodies. And then today, she promised that she was going to get them. In fact, they have a meeting and that she was going to inform them. So it was important, and it was part of our broader activities. You don't forget that I announced on in one of our interviews I had with you that we have series of activities we intend to engage in. We are going to engage the Ghana Journalists Association. We are going to engage National House of Chiefs. We are going to engage the Christian community, the Muslim community. We are going to even engage. We even have an appointment with the EU Commission as well. So this is part of it, and we must make sure that we do not lower the standards we have already set. Look, Ghana is the beacon of democracy, and for that we have built this for quite number of years, and we should not allow it to go down. I mean, if you look at the cases, and I saw the good work your other colleague did. If you look at the cases, I mean, it's mind-boggling that somebody will post Dumsor is back and the person is arrested. That somebody will put something about the fact that the president mentioned that LGBTQ is no more his priority. And so for that matter, the person posts on the Facebook page that it means you support it. And then you are clothed in LGBTQ colors, and the person is arrested all the way from Sunyane with 2 vehicles, armed men. They drove all the way 7 hours to Accra for a misdemeanor. Meanwhile, we have a police institution in Bono region. And not only that, I look at the David Asando case. It's quite bizarre that somebody should post Dumsor is back, and we dispatch more than 10 well-built men with sophisticated weapons, masked, and then they picked this guy up. The family didn't know where he was being taken to. The party didn't know. The following day, we combed all through all these institutions. We went to BNI, we went to National Security, we went to CID at the CID premises, we went to the cyber crime unit, and then we also went to the special investigation unit. And you go to these people and said, we don't have any idea whether he's been picked up. We don't have any idea about these operations. We have no knowledge of it. And then eventually we are told that he's been sent to BNI. Meanwhile, we had been to BNI a couple of hours before, and they said that they have no knowledge of this arrest. But just after 2 hours, we are being told that he's been sent to BNI for interrogation. For that matter, they will need our presence. And I was even surprised that, in fact, at the point, I thought that maybe it was going to be something, or maybe David was not telling us the truth, and that possibly he's done something more grievous than what we think. But we went in there. In the interrogation room, he was asked that, did you post this on your Facebook page, a billboard with the president's picture with an inscription, Dumsor is back? And then he said, yes. I was amazed, and he was cautioned, and then he was granted bail, right? Consider the Adenta Kumi matter. Adenta Kumi just posted that he's seen a video of some judges and some lawyers who were involved in the Justice Tokunu petition, having lunch somewhere, and the following day, 20 well-built men with guns stormed his house, arrested him. Why? Mohamed Zako, you recall that the vice president herself communicated to the entire nation that she's seeking medical leave. And Mohamed Zako posted, rest well, Madam Vice President. He was picked up, incarcerated for 3 days before they granted him bail. Right, so it looks like a certain pattern. It looks like, look, if you come and prefer a certain criticism of the president, which the government is not happy, look, let's make sure that we suppress these people. That is not democracy.
Right.
Abronye's cases, and interestingly, I'll come to Abronye's case, it looks like they've also employed some elements within the judiciary. And I keep saying, Circuit Court 9, I don't know what the government has planted there. Anything, Circuit Court 9, processing for Circuit Court 9. That is the place where we had this strange and weird ruling. A judge can say that yes, in the law, in the 1992 Constitution, all of us are equal before the law, but some are above the law. That was a ruling. In the same court, the same judge introduced a tyrant, principles that a tyrant was espousing, Idi Amin, saying that, quoting Idi Amin, that Idi Amin once said, that I can guarantee you freedom of speech, but your freedom after speech, I cannot guarantee. And I'm like, wow.
So are you saying that you've mentioned the Circuit Court 9 that you don't know what is there, and that has also been reiterated by the minority leader Alexander Afenyomarkin over the weekend.
Yes.
That particular Circuit Court 9, they do not know what is there. What are you insinuating, that the government is behind the judgments that go on in the Circuit Court 9?
No, that is my belief, and then it looks like, for me, how such ruling can be manufactured is mind-boggling.
Manufactured by who?
By the judge. And I'm surprised, because it looks like a well-prepared or written ruling for the person to just come and deliver. Look, in the Baba Amando case, in all of this, I was in court. Ken, it's not as if I'm telling you a reported. No, I was there. I witnessed this myself. In the Baba Amando case, the prosecution never put in an application for remand. The prosecution never opposed the bail application made by Honorable Afenyomarkin and Nana Ejih Bafo-Awuah. In fact, the prosecution rather mentioned to the judge that, look, you have the discretion. But in the ruling of the judge, he stated that the prosecution is saying that the suspect might interfere with their investigation, and for that matter, he should be kept. We went to the High Court, and such strange ruling was overturned. So it looks like Circuit Court 9 has become an agenda court. Look, in the Abronye case, how can a judge say that when I look at your face and I release you, you will go and say some of the things you are saying? How? It means you have predetermined the matter already, because the person has pleaded not guilty. So by that particular pronouncement from the judge, it means what you are saying is that Abronye is rather pronounced guilty before his innocence will be proven. But in the Constitution, every suspect, every accused person is presumed innocent until proven guilty.
The NPP has always maintained that free speech appears to be under siege. Is that something you share in? Is that a sentiment you share?
Yes, of course. And look, let me stay.
Yeah. I
will
let you stay.
Yeah.
But I'm coming. Aside from the high-profile arrests, there have been some arrests of individuals purported to be affiliated with the NPP who are not high-profile politicians. Last year, for instance, some people were arrested over comments they made on TikTok and Facebook. They were detained for allegedly insulting and defaming the president, John Dramani Mahama. Do you think that these people shouldn't have been arrested?
Not at all. You see, that is why I'm saying that, look, we have civil proceedings.
What should have happened to them?
No, you can't even caution them. But why should you even arrest such people, normal TikTokers? You could have just cautioned them. And look, if the president feels defamed, the president can also go to court.
Okay.
Right? He can go to court under civil proceedings.
Right.
But for you to criminalize such an act, it's an overstretch. It is you killing free speech. Look, we have already repealed the criminal libel law. So this attempt by this government to reintroduce the criminal libel law through the Section 208 and 207 of the Criminal Offences Act, right, is very, very unfortunate. But it's sending us to the dark days.
But Henry, some would argue that that was probably a publication of falsehood. And publication of falsehood is not a crime?
No, you see, when you say
I just want your
I get your point. When you say, because there are elements. There are elements, you see, and most of these cases, none has been prosecuted to its fullest conclusion. Why? Because it looks like we are using it for, it's a political tool. Okay. We arrest you under this law, we put you in fear, and then we release you.
I'm coming. I want to read something someone posted some time ago on Facebook and pick your thought on that. The person that said, it does appear that Mr. Mensa Thompson of ASEPA, you know him, has the penchant of spewing outright lies and false allegations ostensibly to incite the public and endanger lives. He persists in doing that brazenly because he always gets away with it regardless of the magnitude of such evil lies he peddles. On this current issue, he must be subjected to the full rigors of the law to deter him from hiding behind social media, to create confusion in the system. We can't look on for him to always peddle brazen and wicked falsehood and return around to say, I am sorry, I apologize for peddling falsehood. There are laws in this country and he must face it squarely. He must be arrested immediately. Do you agree with this person?
No, I agree, and let me tell you why.
This person was you, by the way.
Yes, I agree.
2022.
Yes, I agree. You see,
what is the contradiction?
Let me say this. I've also heard people who are trying to lump the Abronye comment and then put the same meaning, just as the Muntie 3. Muntie 3 said they were going to kill the judges. Listen, they were going to kill the judges. I will never condone this, and I will always call for that person, anybody, whether NPP or NDC, to be prosecuted. Look, if you go through my Facebook post again, I have even called for the arrest and prosecution of our members who aggressively ousted the Tamale, that time the Tamale teaching hospital, the CEO. I've done so. But if anybody says that we are going to kill judges, it is different, it is serious. Because you see, the Abronye's comment, it is not different from NDC labeling the court as unanimous FC. It is not different from Mustafa Gbande saying that the Chief Justice is MPP's national women's organizer. He was never arrested.
Yes, we will...
Look, and no, Ken, you see, that is why the last time I was having it, I told you that, look, we need to go into, you brought in the issue of Bobi Ansah, right?
I'm yet to bring it in this conversation.
Good.
I have brought
Bobi Ansah categorically stated that Madame Rebecca Akufo-Addo, Her Excellency, she's stolen government lands and she's using the proceeds to fund her activities. He was not arrested. He was invited by the police on 7 different occasions. In fact, the police even issued a statement to that effect. In fact, he completely ignored these invitations, and then eventually he was picked up.
Right. We will come there. I know.
I made this point because I want us to situate all of this discussion in its right perspective.
I want us to focus on the Mensa Thompson one for now. We will come to the other arrest because you yourself made that statement in 2022. Now, interestingly, in January 2022, Mensa Thompson was arrested. And remember, so that's your Facebook post on the 10th of January 2022.
Yes.
Mensa Thompson was eventually arrested. Now, I asked you whether those TikTokers who spoke against President John Mahama should have been arrested. He said no, they should have been
not at all.
But this man also alleged...
Are you aware of what he did? In fact, he
said that the president used the presidential jet for Christmas shopping in the UK. That's what he said.
No, in fact, at the point, he also made some comments about the Ghana army and how he was even trying to put the entire security under some problems. And that is why I said that. In fact, and he has said that several times. There was one particular time I said that, you know what, these things we should not even engage in.
Right.
But it looks like it became an issue for him. And most times, he will spill out falsehood that seeks to compromise the national security of the state. So if somebody...
to post this...
It was the same thing. That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. So I will stand by this any day, any time. Why? Because in the same vein, I will not condone somebody saying that we should go and kill judges. But then, I will also not say that somebody should be arrested because the person labeled judges as unanimous FC, and then Mustafa Gbande saying that Madame Tokuno is the NPP's national women's organizer. I will not so that is what I'm saying. We need to look at these issues case by case. But why would you arrest somebody with 10 men who just posted that Dumzo is back? And I've said it. In the interrogation room, I was there myself. Even when he was being interrogated in the BNI cells, there was Dumso, and you could hear their genset working outside. So Dumso is back. Why should the government arrest such a person in a Rambo style. But then, if anybody to say that anybody at all should be killed, I will say that that person must be arrested.
Some will also argue that what you are saying and doing right now is an act of hypocrisy, because in one breath you supported something in 2022, and in another breath the same event, similar events are happening in 2026, and you are speaking against it simply because it is against your party members.
No.
Is that not double standards?
No, that is not at all. That is why I've said that even in my own party, if you go into my Facebook page, there was a time I have also caused people to be arrested.
That's fine. But
so that is why I'm saying that
we are looking at similar events that have happened, that your tones have changed.
No, Ken. Events. You cannot lump all of it together and say that they have the same connotation.
I'm not lumping them.
You are doing it.
I took out Mensa Thompson.
Okay, that is why I'm saying that I'm explaining to you that Mensa Thompson, his comment was to put the entire security architecture into that state of compromise.
How was he doing that?
Oh, but at the point, you remember that even the Ghana forces even issued a statement to that effect? Maybe you've forgotten. I mean, there's a whole issue to that. They even issued a statement to this effect at that time.
Right.
Yes, because he was putting Ghana's entire security architecture, right, into a state of compromise. That's what I'm saying, that is different. That is different by you going under Article 208 and 207 and always saying that somebody's conduct and act is not conducive.
In 2022, a private citizen called Salamatu Mohammed, she's a trader and a mother of 4. She was arrested in 2022 of November after her viral video on social media captured her criticizing President Akufo-Addo, then President Akufo-Addo.
Read the criticisms out.
For insulting the president over the economic and called on witches and ritualists to kill him. Those were the comments that she made.
At that point, I recall that I criticized it.
Oh, you remember?
Yes, I remember it.
Did you call for her arrest?
I criticized the fact that he's been arrested. But look, this is something that you engage the person, you question the person. Why should I remember I criticized it. And you see, that is why I'm happy that your own senior colleague here, right, your senior colleague, Samson Ladia Ineni, he's mentioned that, look, he's cataloged all of these instances under NPP and then under NDC, and he, as a senior lawyer, is of the view that NDC is operating on this oppressive law. They are using this Article 208, 207 in an oppressive manner, less than 2 years, far, far, far more than under NPP. Far, far, far more under NPP. And sometimes when you look at some of the issues, and then you compare, because that is why I'm saying that you would have to put all of these things together and assess the elements involved, right? Because, Ken, you are a journalist. I'm expecting you to criticize the fact that somebody posts this on his back and the person is arrested by 10 people with sophisticated arms, caged somewhere. We don't know where his whereabouts. I'm expecting you to condemn the fact that somebody posted something in Sunyane and we have to chase that person in Sunyane, arrest the person, bring the person back because he said something about LGBTQ. Look, I remember when we were in power, Malik Basintali posted a picture of the vice president holding beer in one arm and then holding pork in another arm. Every Muslim knows this is haram. This is offensive to the religious conduct of any Muslim. Yet he posted it. The vice president then was the chairman for the police council.
Henry,
the vice president never caused the arrest of Malik Basintali.
Was what Malik Basintali did right or wrong?
It was wrong, but I will not cause for his arrest.
You know the premise of that. That was in response to a senior lawyer within your party, Samuel Atachia, who made a subtle jab. We don't know who. Some are saying that it was to President Muhammad that we shouldn't vote for a drunkard.
So if somebody should make, I never knew that you are a spokesperson to Malik Basintali, because this is
that was what he said.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming. I am happy that you said that the person.
I'm giving you context.
I am happy you said that the person did not mention anybody's name, but the fact of the matter is that, look, this is somebody posting. In fact, in Atachia, you yourself said that he never even mentioned anybody's name. Right? He never mentioned anybody's name. So if you go ahead to post the picture of the vice president right, holding beer and holding pork, which every person knows that this is haram. This is offensive to any Muslim. And you were never caught, you were never arrested.
Right.
Right, so that is why I'm saying that the NDC is becoming heavily intolerant.
So,
heavily intolerant. And
right.
it is scary. It is getting to a frightening heights.
Okay.
Frightening heights. And it is worrying. It is worrying.
What do you want the diplomatic community to do for you? You petitioned them. You said you.
Oh yeah, of course. You see, it is important that, look, yes, I mean, the democracy is, for us, is our cherished tool. And the diplomatic community, they are part of the political ecosystem. That is why I'm saying that they are only part of the many activities we are going to undertake. Because we'll be speaking to the Peace Council, we'll be petitioning them. In fact, the major stakeholders, the TUC, the Catholic Bishop Conference, the Ghana Muslim Association, will be engaging all of these people in such an act that, look, we must protect what we have built. We must protect what we have built. And it is, look, this gentleman from Wuntumi TV, he said that President Mahama should answer for the helicopter crash. And he was arrested in Ejoso somewhere and brought to Accra. And sometimes I ask myself, so even if you want the police to intervene in a certain matter, so we don't have regional police head office in Ashanti region. You must waste taxpayers' money. You pick this person up. But in the same vein, you recall that Samuel Hunto and the NDC who works for Hunto FM said that anytime President Akufo-Addo should get onto a private jet, that jet should crash and President Akufo-Addo should die. Who arrested him? And so many demonstrations, they were under NDC, when they were in opposition, they were chanting, Kunana Dumaye Radie, Kunana Dumaye, Kunana Dumaye Radie, Kunana Dumaye. Or say, oh man, who arrested them? Who arrested them? So President Mahama must be tolerant. In fact,
you feel the president is not tolerant enough?
I mean, with these things, it's quite clear. And that is why I'm saying that, look, if your own senior colleague should take his time to catalog these instances under NDC and the NPP and comes out with the firm conclusion that, look, this law is being abused and it looks like they are using this law to suppress and oppress free speech, that is worrying.
Henry, stay with me. I have the Deputy Director of Elections and IT with the NDC, Tanko Rashid Computer. Welcome to the program. What do you make of the submissions by Henry Nana Boakye? Well, today the NPP formally petitioned the diplomatic community in Ghana, reporting the government to these diplomatic communities that they are stifling free speech and also infringing upon the rights of many Ghanaians, especially NPP members.
My brother, let me say good afternoon to you and your cherished viewers. And let me put it on record. This is much ado about nothing. They are wasting everybody's time and wasting their time as well. This is a government that is a respecter of the civil rights of everybody here. In fact, it's a government that will make sure that the liberties of every Ghanaian is properly protected. We are going through that process and we'll make sure that people will have their due in court. If you find out that your activities or your behavior is tantamount to disturbing the peace of this country, to jeopardizing the democracy of which we are noted in the sub-region, the whole of the world, and the sub-region, particularly in the sub-region, Ghana is respected because of our democracy. But some people have made it as part of their activities to destabilize the democracy.
People like who, Rashid? People like who?
The NPP and their apparatchiks.
Right. There's been a number
That's why we are talking. We might be very
Hello, Rashid, can you hear me?
About this. I'm saying this because
can you hear me?
Look at utterances of some of their leadership.
Hello, Rashid, can you hear me?
Utterances of some of their leadership.
I want to come in here, if I may. You mentioned that there are individuals who want to destabilize the country. Who are those people? Are they among the ones that have been arrested? And what exactly did they say that
yes,
is
those
causing
among
instability?
They have been arrested.
Who?
Look, I'm coming.
Okay.
If you are attacking the judiciary, you are attacking the judiciary. Are you not preparing the grounds to destabilize the country? What are you talking about? Is the judiciary not an arm of government? I want you to be more specific for me, please. I'm specific. I'm talking about Aburia. Is Aburia not attacking? Wasn't arrested because of his attack of the judiciary? Don't you see that? My good friend is here. Nanabi is here. He's an officer of the court, and he knows the meaning of what Aburia is doing. He knows it. They know it very well. They are pretending not to be sleeping, and you cannot wake them up. That is our problem with them. And they must face the reality. You can't have leadership of the party misbehaving like this, and those of them, senior members of them, are folding their arms and not talking. Where are we driving the country to? Look, we were in this country when journalists had to run out of this country because of their lives. Where was Nanabi and his group? Manas Azure, they had to smuggle him out of this country. Amaswale, as we speak now, he's in his grave, 6 feet. That one, they didn't see anything wrong with that. There's been anything wrong with that. When they were bundling people to BNS cells and other things, their leader currently, who is now their flag bearer, was then the chairman of police council. What did he do about it? Didn't he see anything wrong with the arrest of people who were speaking out of the ills going on in this country?
There's been a number of
see it.
There's been a number of
we are saying that people should not speak recklessly.
Right. There's been a number of high-profile arrests and also ones which are not so high-profile. A number of them, the NPP counts at least 14 of their members who have been arrested for comments that they've made. And aside from the ones who are known, there are also some who are not known, as I mentioned earlier. For example, in 2025, we had an individual called Emmanuel Asare Kwache, who was picked up by the National Security and transported from Kumasi to Accra for comments he made on a radio station in Kumasi. In the same 2025, we had some TikTokers also make some comments on their Facebook Live, allegedly insulting the president, and what was also found out to be an alleged misinformation. You think that those individuals' arrests were also justified?
Look, if you make reckless statement, you should not be allowed to sleep in your house.
How do you define a reckless statement?
Oh, so you and I, are we brought up to insult leaders, to insult elders? Is that how you were brought up in your house? None of you knows that. We're brought up properly in our homes. Our fathers, grandfathers, and all this, they brought us to respect leadership. Even if you disagree with leadership, you know how to go about it. But you don't just go and take this in phone because data is not cheap. You sit behind your laptop or your mobile phone and churn out gibberish and then say that you are criticizing government. That is not it. If you criticize government, we'll take it on board.
You criticize government, you take the person on board, then what's the essence of democracy then?
That's what I'm saying, that if you criticize government, we will take it on board.
What does that mean, even?
And look at it. But criticism is not insult.
Okay. I get you now.
That is different, completely different. Nanabi is being criticizing us. They've been holding press conferences and talking a lot about the government. Has anybody picked him up? Has he been picked up? He said a lot of things about our government. That is his view. He's coming from the capitalist structure. We are social democrats. So he doesn't understand or respect some of our policies. That is to him. How you convince Ghanaians to still go with him, that is cup of tea. But when you graduate from that criticism to insult, to threatening, to attacking our democracy, look, we are preparing this democracy for future generation to also come and enjoy the democracy we are enjoying. It's not meant for you and I now. We are preparing it for our unborn children to also come and enjoy the democracy. That is what we are doing. But that is not what we are seeing from some of the young guys in NPP. They think that today, if you want to be popular, just go on TikTok, go to social media, insult, say all manner of things, start running down leadership of this country, and then when they'll start hailing you. What kind of future are we building for our people?
Rashid, I want you to hold on.
That is what we are talking about. And I'm saying that if my brother Nanabi want me to give him history of their atrocities against individuals in this country, look, you were chasing people in church to arrest them. Venerable Chasu Chikata, he was in front of God, praying to his God in church. You went there to arrest him. So if I say you didn't even fear God at that time, is it palatable? These are the things we are talking about. And we are saying that let's not do politics with this. It's not politics. It's just that we want to sanitize the system and make sure that we have a civilized society where you and I can live freely. We can speak our mind. We can criticize government. Yes, government will take it on board, but don't graduate it to insult and attack.
Right. Rashid, don't go yet. I'll come back to, let me come back to Henry in the studio. Rashid Tanko Computer is essentially shooting down all the arguments that you've made.
No, he's not shooting down. Clearly, my brother Rashid is very confused. I mean, why should you graduate insults into a crime? Why? Look, before they assume the reins of power, go to Muntie, go to Ahunto, go back and see some of the clips. The insults that I just mentioned one to you, that somebody said the president should just die. Nobody arrested him, Samuel Hunto. So my brother obviously is confused about the discussion. He is confused about the discussion. What we are saying is that the wanton criminalization of free speech under President Mahama is assuming frightening heights. President Mahama is becoming intolerant. And you see, if he's not careful and it goes this way, he may be more than the Idi Amin. You speak and you are arrested. You criticize him, you are arrested. And you graduate insult into crime. If you are not careful, that is where we are heading to. President Mahama moving to become what? Modern day Idi Amin.
How is he becoming?
But that is what I'm saying, that for me, it's mind-boggling, and somebody should just write Dumso is back, and the person is arrested by 10 world-armed, sophisticated men, 2 Land Cruisers. I'm surprised. I'm worried. Look, we have a police station in Aguna Swedru. Even if you think that, oh, look, he's said something wrong, why? So the police could not have called him to question him. And you have to send a whole team, cars to Sunyane to go and arrest somebody. And again, the whole team to Ajoso to arrest somebody and bring the person to Accra. That is why I'm saying that gradually, that is where we are heading to. Because if you watch the Idi Amin clips, and I'm even surprised that you are even arguing this way, because this same Idi Amin, he was introduced by a judge who is now, do you know, after the judgment, he's been graduated to a High Court judge. Do you know? After such widely criticized ruling, where he was condemned, the ruling was condemned, everybody was bashing this judge who introduced the principles of Idi Amin into his ruling, he is now being promoted to High Court.
But don't you think that using Idi Amin, a very polarizing dictator, to describe President John Mahama is too far?
No, that's what I'm saying. If we are not careful,
okay,
because if a judge could introduce such principles of Idi Amin, that, oh, Idi Amin once said that your freedom of speech I can guarantee, but your freedom after speech I cannot guarantee. And a whole judge is celebrating this principle in his ruling. It is so bad. So that is why I'm saying that the rate at which we are going, if somebody should just post Dumso is back and the person is arrested, If somebody should criticize the president because he said, look, Rashid Tanko empowered their campaign with the debate of LGBTQ. Rashid Tanko and his colleagues, they have labeled Madam Tokono as NPP National Women Organizer. Mustafa Gbande was saying it. He himself, he was saying it. They have said that the judges were political judges, NPP judges, unanimous judges. You recall that even during the petition, the current Attorney General, he was cautioned by the Supreme Court because of some of the comments he made. After the 2020 presidential petition, go back and check some of the comments from our friends in opposition then, heavily attacking the judiciary, passing on several comments.
But so has your minority leader, Alexander.
I fully support him.
You support all the
100%.
But you are condemning what was...
No, you don't get my point. You see, go and read the script of Osahene Alexander Afenyomakin. And I'm saying and I'm repeating it on your show, that I will never respect a judge who says that we are all equal before the law, but some are above the law. I will never respect a judge who says that your freedom of speech I can guarantee, but your freedom of speech I cannot guarantee. I will never respect a judge who will say that be incarcerated until your matter is determined. Go in. Because look, when I release you, you pass similar comment. How can you prejudge? How can you predetermine? How can you just conclude by saying so? Because then it means you've already condemned the person. It means you're not even fit to be a judge in that particular courtroom. And I've mentioned to you, Judge Kunsum.
Yeah.
Judge Kunsum never had any remand application before him. The prosecution never opposed the bail application moved by the lawyers of Baba Amando. Yet still, he managed to find expression in his ruling that if Baba Amando is released, he was going to interfere with the investigation. Meanwhile, the prosecution had already mentioned that after their investigation, meaning they have concluded their investigation, yet a judge could say that still remand Baba Amando because he could interfere with investigation. What kind of investigation?
Do you think the
I will not.
was more tolerant?
So I'm coming extremely, because that is why Afenyomakin chose his words carefully. He actually narrowed his dissent on a particular judge or particular judges. And it is in tandem with what our presidential candidate said, that the element, if you are a prosecutor, if you are a judge, those elements who are in cohort, who have this unholy connection with the government. And I'm not surprised. Clearly, you could say that my brother Rashid Tanko, he knows what is happening. He is behind some of these unfortunate arrests. Because he is glorifying it.
Who is
Rashid?
arrest?
Oh, because he's part. You could see that he's part of the architecture.
How is Rashid part of the...
Rashid, but he's in government.
Architecture.
He's in government. Do you know what he said? He said that, look, anybody who insults you will arrest you. We will come for you. So he is celebrating this unholy culture, this creeping suppression of speech, this undesirable tenant. And I'm surprised. I mean, this is him. Yeah. But if there is any party that has benefited from free speech, benefited from freely expressing your views, is the NDC.
So you think the NPP was more tolerant towards free speech than the NDC?
Of course. But I've told you that even your own senior colleague has passed that verdict.
That's fine.
I've said it. And you see, let me just conclude on this. Look, what he is glorifying today, if we are using the same standard, and I keep saying that somebody like Okudzeto then by now should be in prison. Why? Because this is a young man who spewed falsehood. He perfected in spewing, peddling lies. Today, even the Yoko board chairman, who was part of Oral, Domlevo, says that, a lot of the Oral issues are garbage. I didn't say that. Attorney General now is saying that these things are mere allegations. But meanwhile, this is Okudzeto Ablakwa, who perfected in this act, who lied, who peddled falsehood. Yet, anytime, he's allowed to go scot-free. Nobody arrested him. Nobody said anything. So if we are to go by that standard, Article 208, 207, that look, false publication, then Akufo-Addo is a clear example of an architect of peddling falsehood. So I'm surprised that they are glorifying this today. But look, for we in the minority, we are not going to relent. We are not going to succumb. If the president intends to go on this path, if he has been advised by Rashid Tenko and other elements that, look, Mr. President, we will go after them. When they talk, we'll go after them. The president will be leaving a legacy that will be distasteful.
Right.
That will be gory. Right. He will be leaving a legacy that one day we will say that it is President Mahama who superintended over the wanton criminalization of free speech, who supervised the continuous attack on our democracy. That is it. He's glorifying it. That is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Henry, I'll come back to you. Rashid Tango Computer is still with us on Zoom. Rashid, already there are concerns about the statement you made that if you insult a president or if you insult somebody in authority, you must be arrested, because there are several examples of people who are in government now who openly insulted then President Akufo-Addo. I'll give you one. The Communications Minister, Sam George, once described Akufo-Addo as useless and incompetent, yet he wasn't picked up. Do you think that when he made those statements that time, he should have been arrested, going by what you're saying?
Well, who started using the word incompetence? Was it not His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Baumia?
How about useless?
Who started using incompetent on the person of His Excellency John Dramani Mahmoud? He started using it. I mean, so this one, if you see, when you say somebody is incompetent at that time, the man was a sitting president.
I never said incompetent alone. I said useless and incompetence. Those were his words. Why are you leaving out the useless?
I'm saying that it was His Excellency. In fact, at that time, he wasn't His Excellency. He was then a candidate.
He was president then. He wasn't a candidate.
Look,
2021, Akufo-Addo was president.
No, I'm saying that 2016, when Nana-Addo was then the candidate, and Dr. Mahmoud Bamia was his running mate, they were using incompetent on the president then. You remember the president used a statement that you have never been the president before. You remember that statement?
I do.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama told them, you've never been a president before. You've never come near presidency. To describe me as incompetent, you don't even know how to govern a country before. That was 2016. They started those kind of things. Anytime they are in opposition, they make reckless statements. They are noted for that. And they always think that they have the bona fide right to rule this country. So anybody who is ruling this country, they don't see anything good in that person.
Rashid, you don't see someone calling the president useless as an insult?
Oh, I'm saying that, look, we are responsible. In fact, our communicators are responsible communicators. We have trained them well, and they know what to say at what time. And then therefore, hardly you will see our communicators will go after leadership of NPP and then start running them down. We won't do that.
But I just gave you an example. In 2022 also, Rashid, I'll let you come in. In 2022 also, the same communications minister described Akufo-Addo's government appointees as a bunch of crooks and thieves. That's not an insult too?
See, when you describe something, descriptive, we are using descriptive words. And I'm saying that today, are people not running? Are people not fugitive? Can't we see it? Why are people running from the law? Why are people running from the law? We are chasing them. We need our money back. And they are running. My brother is there, Nana B. He hasn't run away from this country. Nobody's chasing him because he has not put his hand in anybody's state coffers. Nobody's chasing him. Look, Nana B is sitting in your studio. He's criticizing the government. Nobody has invited him anywhere. He's talking about our policies. But you see, I'm saying that when you graduate criticism to a statement that has a tendency of destabilizing the peace that we are having, enjoy you and I, it's because of the peace that he's talking in your studio. If there's no peace, can he sit in the studio and talk? Somebody, guys, some of them, because it appears they don't have any responsibility whatsoever, they feel like we should just rock the boat and everybody will just be in haywire. Because some of the statements they are making, it doesn't make sense.
So Rashid, how do you reconcile the fact that you say that anybody?
Look, he's saying he was talking about the judiciary.
Rashid, I'll give you all the time. How do you? I want us to reconcile. I'll give you all the time, respectfully. I want to understand how we reconcile the fact that you say that if anybody makes insulting comments towards government or towards the president, the person has to be arrested. But I've given you instances of people insulting former President Akufo-Addo and were left off the hook, and you have refused to condemn that.
I'm saying that I made a categorical statement.
Okay.
If you make reckless statement that has the tendency of disturbing the peace of this country, you won't sleep in your house.
Who qualifies that?
We are not going to.
Where does that qualification come from? Who makes that qualification?
Look, that one there is a fact. Okay. Because you cannot run down a judiciary, which is an arm of government. You can't just insult them like that.
And was it fair? Was it fair when the former
the general public?
Was it fair when the former Chief Justice? Was it fair when the former Chief Justice and the justices of the Supreme Court were described as unanimous FC? Unfortunately, Rashid Tanko Computer's Zoom has frozen, but we'll try and reconnect with him. I still have Henry Nanabuachi in the studio with me.
Ken, quickly, you see, the president himself, you recall that he said that President Akufo-Addo has empowered his brothers, his friends, and family members to steal for him. The president said it. So he's empowered. He mentioned Gabi, he mentioned Bamti, he mentioned Nana Santibedi too. That was when he was in opposition. He said the president Akufo-Addo has empowered his friends, his family to steal for him. I mean, this is such a criminal comment. But nobody called the arrest of the former president.
Right.
Not only that. Look, it looks like we have a certain laws for NPP, certain laws. Look, ask Rashid Tanko. Lustowo Nana something mentioned that.
Yesu Bukasin, is that him?
No. Lustowo Nana Ajima, Nana something. Okay. You know what he said? He said that Adam Bona, he has been supplying guns and ammunition for the Boko War. Nobody arrested him. Not only that, he said that the former IGP killed people. Nobody arrested him. You recall this rough guy who aggressively entered the Rich Hospital and caused fear and panic. And when even the minister put together a committee to investigate that, he was invited. This man said he was not even going to appear because he's an NDC sympathizer.
Do you think he should have been arrested?
Of course.
Why?
Because how can you enter such a facility, health facility? You aggressively enter there, you put people who are seeking medical attention right into such a mood, fear and panic. You create tension there. And when you are not arrested and even a committee is set up for you to appear before that committee, you say no, because what? He is a friend to the MP and NDC.
Right.
So he never said that.
Henry,
and lastly, let me say this.
Okay.
There was this lady who was hosting this program on a TV show, posturing herself as a medical doctor. Meanwhile, he was a fake doctor. If at a point he was even given an appointment to serve on the board of National Health Insurance Authority. And when it was discovered that indeed she's fake and she's not even a medical doctor, Felix came out to say that, her appointment has been revoked. Nobody arrested her. Meanwhile, go to Koforidua, a fake veterinary doctor. A fake veterinary doctor was arrested and now he's incarcerated for almost about 3 years or so.
Henry, I'll give you.
So that is why I'm saying
but
it looks like they are so pretending over selective justice, selective application of the law. And just like Rashid Tanko is talking, and clearly you could see that that is their mindset. But look, we are going to resist that.
I'll give you the fact.
If you speak and we are not happy, we will arrest you. That is what he's saying.
I'll give you the fact.
If you speak, we are not happy, we will arrest you.
Rashid Tanko, computer. Rashid, we lost you momentarily there. Please, can you wrap up for us your thought?
Well, I am saying that we must all guide the democracy that we are enjoying. Let's guide it. And then look, Nana B, it won't help anybody in this country if we rock the boat. Where are we going? You see, if we are going to go that tangent, maybe I'll tell you, you people also, you had your own people during your time. You have invisible forces, or what you call them. Look at what they did to the court in Kumasi. Who went and beat up a pregnant woman who was sitting as a high court judge, and then free their own people. I see, these are the things we are taught. That one, you didn't see anything wrong with that. And I'm saying that even currently, your leader, minority leader in parliament, what didn't we see? He sent a matter to Supreme Court. Within 2 hours, he could empanel all the judges at the Supreme Court and got favorable verdict. 2 hours. Nana B, you were there. You are my brother. You don't see anything wrong with that. We have not even gotten there, and we are not going to go there. It is not in the NDC DNA to go there and be coercive judges and panel them within 2 hours and get favorable verdict. We will not do that.
Right.
We will allow the judiciary to flow. But I'm saying that let's guide our democracy. Otherwise, what we are doing, Nana B, what we are doing, you and I, we have lived long in this country. We've seen it before. This thing that they are doing, people sit down and then just pass reckless statements, and then you run and go and support them. The backlash will be dire. We must stop it.
Right.
Rashid, you are not preventing anybody from speaking. You
Rashid,
can speak your mind.
Rashid,
you are speaking your mind in the studio. Nobody is going to chase you anywhere. Speaking your mind.
There's been widespread.
That is the beauty of democracy.
There's been widespread condemnation. Rashid, can you hear me?
Yes.
There's been widespread condemnation about the judge at Circuit Court 9, both from Henry Nana Boakye and from the minority leader Alexander Afenyomakin. They've accused him of being a very interesting judge for quoting Idi Amin that we can guarantee your freedom of speech, but freedom after speech is something that we cannot guarantee. Quoting a known dictator like Idi Amin. Do you condemn that judge, or you think that he was within his right? You see nothing wrong with that judgment and verdict?
I'm saying that a whole leader of the NPP in 2 hours empaneled the whole Supreme Court judges and got favorable ruling from that.
That point has been well made.
Come out to condemn?
That point has been well made, Rashid. But
so what are they talking about? So no, the judge is doing his work.
He's doing his work, you think?
What the judge did. Look, but Nana B, he knows that.
But others will also argue that the former Chief Justice was equally doing her work. No?
Well, I'm saying that. Do we have any counsel that? We said fine. We respected it. They made ruling against us. We didn't rock the boat.
Okay.
We didn't go to the market. We didn't send them to cleaners. Just recently, we lost some cases. 2 cases at the Supreme Court. We lost Panda. We lost Suhum. They ruled in their favor. That one, they didn't celebrate it. They didn't go with a white handkerchief to thank the judiciary and other things.
Right.
Did we hear NDC? Did we hold any press conference to say we are not going to accept this ruling? We condemn the judges and say that this judge is not correct. He is an NPP judge. Did we do that? We lost two powerful ones, Panda and Suhum. They got favorable ruling in these 2 cases.
Right.
That one, they don't see anything wrong with that. We are saying that, look, we are respecters of the law. We will not do anything against NPP members just because they are NPP. No, we won't do that. We are not enemies.
Right.
NDC is not an enemy to NPP. Let me put that one on record. We are not enemies. We are only political opponents. But
Rashid,
you see, that doesn't mean that because you are in opposition, you should destabilize the peace that we are having in this country.
Okay.
Do that.
Right.
We gave you all the opportunity to govern this country for 8 years. A lot of interesting things happen in this country. Did we say anything? We say Farmer Nyami, December 2024, and we gave you the heaviest defeat. Right. We are going to give you another defeat come 2028. So just go and do your work well and don't go this path. This path is not good for you.
Rashid Tanko Computer, thank you very much. I want to give you just a minute to respond. I'm coming. I want to give you just a minute to respond. That's Rashid Tanko Computer. He's the Deputy Director of Elections and IT with the NDC. Briefly, before we go on a break.
Did you listen to what Rashid said? And
what did he say?
He says that Afenyomakin took a matter to court. In 2 hours, he got the court to empanel the justices of the Supreme Court to give a favorable ruling. He must be arrested. Per his standards, he must be arrested. Because now what he's saying is that now the justices or the Chief Justice then was remote controlled by somebody to empanel justices of the Supreme Court favorable to him. In this case, he mentioned Afenyomakin's name. And that in 2 hours, Afenyomakin got the judiciary to empanel justices of the Supreme Court to sit on a matter to give him a favorable ruling.
You've also, I mean, I gave you a minute, but we have to be wrapping up.
No, but that is what I'm trying to say, that in that case, nobody is arresting him. So if Abronya should say that you, a judge sitting in Adenta Circuit Court, you are doing politics there, and it looks like you have already determined what you want to say, and you arrest the person, how is that different from Rashid Tanko? Then Rashid Tanko should be incarcerated by now, because from what he's saying, it means that you have also scandalized the court. What you are saying is that the court doesn't have a mind on its own, and that the then majority leader remote controlled the Chief Justice to empanel. How can you even say this?
Right.
But meanwhile, he said it. So that is why I'm saying that, look, we cannot criminalize free speech. It doesn't mean that I will condone any comment at all from anybody. What it means is that I will rather approach it differently. But for you to, in a Rambo style, send men with guns for who? David Asando. For who? For Baba Mandu.
Right.
I mean, this is worrying. That is why we are saying that, look, but let me just direct this to Rashid Tanko and his NDC. But we in the NPP, we can never succumb to such ill motive. We in the NPP, we are going to fight for democracy.
Okay.
We will not allow them to go on this tangent.
Right.
And again, let me say that whatever the minority leader said in his press conference, which was sponsored by the New Patriotic Party, we are fully behind that statement. Any judge who would tear our constitution into pieces simply because he is doing the bidding of a certain political party, we will not respect that judge.
Okay. Henry Nanabuache, thank you very much. He's the national organizer of the opposition NPP. And earlier we heard from Rashid Tanko Computer, is the Deputy Director of IT and Elections of the governing NDC. Away from that, though, the Public Accounts Committee has in the last few weeks been going around the country as part of their engagements over the Auditor General's report. And this week, they have pitched camp in Ada for the final session. And when we return from the break, we'll cross over to my colleague James Aveji, who has been monitoring events there for us. Don't go anywhere.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number one, let's bring Baby Girl. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes.
If you want quality, this be where you belong.
Strong tough and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntheside. Syntheside, it they carry water, no wahala. Syntheside, it they make water they flow. Syntex, and you're strong and you're tough.
Game on. Confirm your participation. Place bets on sport. Get a free bets and weekly cashback. Take part in the prize drawings. Use promo code to get welcome bonus.
June to 19 July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches from as little as 98 Ghana cedis live on SuperSport, only on GoTV.
From Africa to football's biggest stage, you are invited to be a part of it. Feel the rush, the passion of every moment. Don't just watch the game. Live the FIFA World Cup experience with VIP seatings, exclusive lounges, gourmet dining, priority access at every turn, luxury all around you. Seamless, effortless, exceptional. Because this is more than a ticket. This is your FIFA World Cup 2026 experience. Brought to you by Match Experience Hospitality. Call 055 155 1119 or visit matchexphospitality.com to secure your packages or walk into any Absa Bank branch, our official banking partner, for more information and payment.
The bottle line has been drawn and history is calling. 2 giants, 1 trophy. Will this be Arsenal's first ever Champions League trophy? Or is PSG lifting it again for the second time in a row? Join your #1 entertainment radio station, Hits 103.9 FM at the Aviation Social Center as we watch Arsenal versus PSG battle on a giant screen. Ghana, get ready for the Hits FM Rep Your Jersey 2026. This year, we've ramped up the excitement with sports quiz, soccer tournament, the Champions League anthem competition, esports, JAMA, and more. All roads lead to the Aviation Social Center. Swag up your jerseys. Wear your football club jersey proudly. And let's all meet at the Aviation Social Center from 10 a.m. to late. Mark the date, Saturday, 30th May 2026. And get ready for lots of fun with friends and family. Entertainment with your favorite Hits FM personalities. Music with a Hits FM DJ squad. And amazing prizes to be won from 10 a.m. to the climax of the UEFA Champions League finale match in grand style. The Hits FM Rep Your Jersey 2026 is powered by Joy Sports with support from Joy Prime, Joy News, Joy FM, and My Joy Online, and proudly sponsored by TCL, Inspire Greatness, Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuel for all. Soccer Bet, your best bet for sports betting. Didi Shito, Efiedienye, Heineken, share the passion. Twisco chocolate food drink, power your dream. Ashesi University, educating the next generation of ethical and entrepreneurial leadership for Africa. Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services app, Abaco Services Baby, Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Pafi, day by day men, strong and refined, the skincare you deserve. Heritage Christian University, educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. Citizen Sports Mall, level up your game. Aqua.natural mineral water, Obenumanum Bium, DSTV, feel every moment. The Hits FM Rep Your Jersey 2026.
Hello again. The Public Accounts Committee has in the last few weeks been going around the country as part of the engagements over the Auditor General's report. And this week they have pitched camp in Ada for the final session. And my colleague James Aveji has been on the beat and he's sitting down with the ranking member on the committee for a conversation live from Aqua Safari Resort in the next 30 minutes. We can now cross over to James Aveji for more on this. James, bring us up to speed. What's happening?
Well, Ken, and a good evening to yourself and all our viewers on Joy News. We are live here at the Aqua Safari Resort here in Adan, at the beach at the riverside here, and it's been a week long of activities with the Public Accounts Committee. They've been around the country in the last 6 weeks doing what we call the zonal meetings at the regional level on the Auditor General's reports, several of them, but key amongst them is the special audit on that 68.7 billion Ghana cedis government arrears on claims and the rest. But the rest also includes the AG's report or the Auditor General's report on pre-tertiary institutions, the senior high schools, colleges of education, the district assemblies account, as well as the uses of the district assemblies common fund. And we are privileged this afternoon to have the ranking member on the committee, Honorable Samuel Atamels, and he is also the member of parliament for the people of Komenda, Edina. Honorable, you have a special way you emphasize the name of your constituency. All of us know it as KEEA. Introduce yourself to us properly.
Thank you very much. My name is Samuel Atamels, and I'm the member of parliament for Komenda, Edina, Akufo-Addo. There are 4 paramountcies, and each one of them very, very important. And you can name one and then leave the other. Normally, people will say KEEA, but what does it stand for? It's the good people of Komenda, Edina, Akufo-Addo.
And the bad people as well.
And the bad people as well. I'm very privileged to be able to serve them for 3 terms now, and counting. Yes, and I'm very proud of it.
For those who monitor public accounts proceedings, if you say you are serving for the 3rd term, they will not believe it because you've been at the Public Accounts Committee for quite a long time. I am covering this. This is my 5th year, and since I started, I've seen you. How did you end up at the Public Accounts Committee?
Yes, when I came to Parliament, because of the job that I had been doing before even I came to Parliament, and members of leadership, knowing my capabilities and my background, they felt that I would it would be better for me to serve on Public Accounts Committee. So since my first year, I've been serving on Public Accounts Committee, and Honorable Dr. James Abeji, I worked under him. Very, very learned person. There's a lot that I learned under him. So every good thing that I do, I learn under him. The bad ones are my own. So we went through a lot. When we took over in 2016, we were probably about 3 or 4 years behind on our Auditor General's report. So we traveled around the country and we had to do quite a lot of work. And that helped me gain the experience that I've gained on it. Now we've caught up and we are considering 2024 reports. Very soon we'll start with the 2025 reports and then move on.
I'll come to the reports, especially how it transitions from the Auditor General to Parliament, what you are expected to do per the Constitution, Article 103, as well as the orders of Parliament. But the other side of the work, which a lot of us don't see, is this kind of that you are doing today, where you go around the country. In the last 6 weeks, you left Accra, you went to Tamale, you came to Kumasi, went to the Western region, Takrady, and now you are in Adan to meet other institutions. And this is a period where Parliament is in recess, where you have to be with your constituents and spend time with them and your family as well. What does this take away from your constituent and your family, the level of sacrifice you do that others may not know?
Yes, the last 6 to 8 weeks, we've done quite a lot of travel around the country. And as part of the program where we are bringing Parliament to the people, So traveling, people get to see how Parliament works. They get to see how the committee also works. And we learn quite a lot also. We go and talk to the secondary schools who have been cited in the reports, the assemblies that have been cited, universities. But the flip side of it is, just like he said, it takes you away from the constituents, and it takes you away also from your family. So if you're going to be a member of the Public Accounts Committee, you need to be able to balance the workload. You also need to have some very trusted and capable people in your constituency who would make up for some of the lapses that may be there. Right now, there are so many things that I've done in the constituency that I need to go and commission, some letters I need to write, some things that I need to follow up. So it's very, very important for you to have some trusted people that you have behind you who will work with you. Yes.
Let's talk about the work itself. When the Auditor General is done with their work, per the law, they are supposed to, especially on audited accounts, the first point of contact should be Parliament. But sometimes we find the reports on their website. I'm asking in reference to the incident that just happened some few weeks ago, where a media entity picked on the report, reported about the over 400 million cedis and earned salary to one public official. I spoke to some members of the committee, and they were a bit furious about why they had to go ahead when Parliament hasn't looked at that report. Walk us through the transition of a report from the auditor to Parliament, what you do with it, and then what is the end product of the report.
Good. You see, the law says that, Auditor General reports to Parliament, not to the executive. It reports to Parliament. So what the law says is, 6 months after the end of the financial year, the Auditor General has to send its report to Parliament. Now, when the report comes, there are about 16 reports, then the Speaker will refer these reports to the committee. Before we do even our first sitting, the Auditor General, those people at Auditor General's office, will take us through maybe 2 or 3 days of sittings, explain the reports to us, let us know the nuances of it. We'll get other people to come, people who have experience will also go through with us. We'll call Bank of Ghana, that will also go through with us on these reports. So if you're not that experienced, and you just see some numbers on the website of the Auditor General, you will not understand it, and then you may take it out there, erroneously. Looking at Auditor General's report, you need to have somebody explain it to you, and that's when you really understand it. But unfortunately, some people just grab whatever they see and then they run with it. There have been several instances, and then you'll come back and find out that those things are not correct. Now, even before we go and sit down, and then with the auditees, there are some people who have already corrected the infractions. People have come to pay whatever they need to pay to the Auditor General. Whatever reports that they are supposed to bring, they've already brought it. So in some of the cases, yes, the report may look sensational, but it has been corrected. And so when we go and sit down with the auditees, that's when we ask them what happened. We ask them what they've done so far. And the auditors are there from the Auditor General's office who will let us know whether this has been corrected, or maybe there was an error, or whatever the case may be. So it's not that simple. And I've been on the committee, this is my 3rd term on it, and it takes a little bit of reading and a little bit of understanding for you to do the job.
But I mean, some hearing this will think that If that is what it is, then why do we have to come to the public to do public sitting? If the auditors would have to be invited to be met behind closed doors to explain some of these things and do corrections, then what's the need? They should just do the corrections and then we move on.
It's very, very important. We are the representatives of the people. All those amounts that all these ministries, departments and agencies are using, these amounts were voted on by parliamentarians. So we have given the money to a ministry or department or agency. The Auditor General is coming to report to us that this amount that you gave to this agency, this is how they utilize the amounts. And there are rules and regulations on it. Some of it, to be straight with you, it's name and shame. If you know that you are going to be mentioned on auditor in the report, and we are coming to talk about you in public, that's when so many people come in and pay whatever they need to pay, or maybe make some corrections. But yes, when the auditors come and audit your place, okay, let me explain this. They may spend about anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks in your facility. Before they come, they write a letter to you. So you have about at least 2 weeks notice. They are coming. They will spend some time with you. Before they leave, they will have an exit conference with you and tell you that, hey, this audit that we did, this is what we found, this is what we found, this is what we found. They will give you a list of it. Then after they've left your premises, they will write you a management letter, state again what they saw at your place, and you are given 30 days to respond. If you respond within the 30 days, it will not appear in the Auditor General's report. But if you don't, that's when it appears. So somebody may come and say, oh yeah, I corrected it. But did you correct it within the 30 days? If not, it should appear in the report.
But the problem is that, and I don't know if it's a problem, but if you listen to the public, especially when some of these discussions are ongoing and the issues are catching fire, a lot of people believe that these are just tangibles. How do we really measure the relevance of your work? How do we measure the success of your work when at the end of the day we cannot quantify how much your work has brought? If we talk about serving as deterrent, naming and shaming, and that people will not commit it. Meanwhile, every year the reports still come and we see the same infractions recurring. How do we quantify your work? In fact, I was following a conversation, I chanced upon a conversation on social media, and people even feel that this meeting, cross-country meeting, shouldn't be happening these days of technology. You could put these people on Zoom, not spending money, going around the country to engage with them.
You see, that is not a fair comment. There are billions of cedis that we have recovered as a result of the Auditor General's report and us sitting down with the auditees. The Auditor General is coming up with a report and to let everybody know almost every year how much we recover. It's in billions. Can you imagine if we didn't have Auditor General's report? Can you believe what would have happened? Let me give you a recent example. If you look at the Africa Games that we had, here we were, the police department sent a bill of 35.8 million Ghana cedis for the LOC to pay.
For a work claim to be done in only 6 weeks?
Yes. No, not in 6 weeks.
3 weeks. 23 days, we were told yesterday, that's about 3 weeks.
And involving 6,000 police officers. Now, that was disallowed. They didn't allow the payment. And this bill have gone all the way to finance, during the up to BTA level. And if Ministry of Finance hadn't scrutinized it that well with the Auditor General, this amount of money would have been paid. So there are so many things that the auditors help us prevent, help us straighten people about it. And you can ask some of the people from the ministries, departments, and agencies, and they will tell you. some of them are very, very cautious that, hey, if I don't do it well, I will appear on Public Accounts Committee and the whole country will know about it. So yes, we have recovered quite a lot. It has also served as a deterrent to other people who otherwise may have misbehaved or mishandled government funds. So yes, it's extremely important.
But on the recovery, is there any instance where the Auditor General has been able to measure, for instance, when there's an infraction, let's say an earned salaries, the surcharge usually from the Auditor General is that the money should be recovered and paid into the accounts of government. Is there an instance where the Auditor General has been able to say that, look, out of the surcharges which were superintended or forwarded or strengthened by the Public Accounts Committee, this is how much have been recovered from the infractions in a particular year?
And this is what I said, the Auditor General is coming up with a report, because there are some of the funds that have been recovered is not only through Auditor General. Some people pay to Auditor General, some people pay through YOCO. YOCO goes after them and then goes to collect. So they are trying to reconcile their accounts with those of those with YOCO, and even those with other ministries, departments and agencies that people have made refunds, and then quantify all these and let you know year by year how much we recover. It's extremely important that people get to know.
So we should expect that from the Auditor General.
Oh, definitely, you should expect it.
You press that it is done.
Oh, definitely, we are pressing, because some people question us on it. It's like, hey, what is the purpose of Public Accounts Committee? We hear all these things. Yes, and the other side too that we are doing is those people who have squandered and haven't refunded. Even though some of those people have been refunded, we recommend that the Attorney General needs to prosecute these people. So there are going to be some prosecutions in some of these cases.
Except that, as far as we can remember, there's not been a successful prosecution of anyone from those referrals. I recall in 2024 when the former Deputy Attorney General, Afretian Yeboah, represented the Aegis Department before your committee for some infractions. Then it came to light that for all the referrals that have been done then under the then chairman, Honorable James Kluchi Aveji, that none have been forwarded from the clerk of the committee to the Aegis Department. And there was a promise to follow up on all of those. If these things are not happening, how do we see through to a successful prosecution?
There are so many things that go on behind the scenes. Now, I cannot tell you for sure whether the reports were sent to the Attorney General and they weren't prosecuted, or maybe they even leave Parliament. But that will be for another investigation to be had by some of the other committees of Parliament. Assurance Committee is there, and so many others, to find out what happened and then do a proper follow-up on this. But from what you are doing, you are there to see that some people have already refunded. Some of them we have recommended that the Attorney General needs to prosecute them. And some of them, even just by appearing, they pay back. You will find out that some of the people who have paid back, they usually pay back maybe between 2 to 3 months when they knew that they were coming to face Public Accounts Committee. As soon as we write letters to them, then all of a sudden they start finding all these reports or whatever PVs that they were supposed to bring. So it's very, very effective. Imagine we didn't have public accounts. Imagine we didn't have Auditor General.
But the Constitution, Article 1036, give you 3 to 6, give you all the powers of a high court to, push until, I want to believe, until you get someone in prison to serve as a better deterrent. what difference should we expect from this generation of Public Accounts Committee with regards to this? Because that's been the worry of people. They say this to be a theatric, nothing more biting than referral, and then we move on.
We see, we may have to amend the law and give Public Accounts Committee the powers to prosecute. But at the same time, we have the Auditor General's Department, Attorney General's Department that is working on some of these things. I know His Excellency President John Mahama has spoken about having special courts to prosecute some of these people. So that is what we are. That's what we are waiting for. But there are already special courts right now. I know that they've spoken to the Chief Justice, and the special courts are there, but some modalities, so that some of the cases from public accounts could go straight to them, and there will be quicker responses. I know people want to see some action on it. Yes.
Okay. We'll be wrapping up in about 5 minutes. Want to pick your thought on a few things, especially what happened yesterday, the incident between the Honorable Sam George and members of the court. And he's not the only one. Sometimes things get heated. The public might be worried about some of these things. How concerned is this to leadership? Are they really incidents we need to be concerned about?
Sometimes yes, but sometimes not really. The two of them are friends. The two of them are highly opinionated. And what happened yesterday, you could see that each one of them wanted to have the last word. They are very good friends. And if you observed yesterday, after the cameras were out, they were together conversing and talking about so many things. This is not personal. We are talking about crime over here. How can you pay about $14 million to a company and there's nothing to show? And then at the same time, you're going to ask for 708 million Ghana cedis to do the same thing that you collected the dollars for. People in the ministry are saying that they were not aware of how things went about. Yeah, so Honorable Sam George was trying to tell us what happened. Honorable Abraham Osasari was also trying to probably understand it very well. But this is not the first time that the two of them have clashed at Public Accounts Committee. You remember the last parliament, when the tables were turned, it was Honorable Sam George who questioned the head of the GRA about his age. It was Honorable Abraham Osasari who was trying to defend that. So now the tables have turned. Look, this is just friendly fire. The two of them know themselves very well, and that's how it is. And if you observed, I was just sitting down there watching the two of them display themselves.
So there's nothing to worry about.
There's nothing to worry about. Look, these are two politicians. The cameras are there, and each one of them wanted to have his or her word out. So there's nothing to worry about.
And for us, by running us through the next few days, I'm learning we are either ending tomorrow or Friday. What more do we expect in the next 3 days?
We have district assemblies for Greater Accra, Eastern Region, and Volta regions coming in. And we have other schools coming in and a few universities. So we are going through the report, and we hope to be done by Friday.
Yeah. Your constituents, I'm sure they are watching live on TV. What's your word to them? I'm sure in the last 6 weeks they've missed you. Your word to them?
Oh, definitely. I really, my people are Commander Edna. My people are Commander Edna Iguafo Abram. Yes, I'm working so hard for Mother Ghana. I'll be coming home soon. There are quite a few things that I know that I need to catch up on. But by the way, I have sent somebody out there who has come to fix free Wi-Fi in most of their constituency. If you go there through Starlink, We've set it up so people of Commander, Edina, Eguafo, and Aprem, you have free Wi-Fi provided by yours truly, Samuel Atamils. There are other things that I'm doing. There are so many contracts that I'm bringing out there, boreholes that I'm building, school buildings. Now you know I'm working on the roads. All the major roads are being fixed, and I will come commission some of these things, visit some of these things, and you'll get to know what I'm doing. So even though I may not physically be there, my spirit is there. I'm working. Yes, did I mention Commander Sugar Factory? I'm working seriously on it, and God willing, it will be operational very soon. God bless you.
Thank you. And that's Honorable Samuel Atamensa, and he is Samuel Atamels, pardon me, and he is the ranking member on the Public Accounts Committee, telling us, walking us through their work. And key for me is that there need to be some change in the law to give some more powers to the Public Accounts Committee, especially prosecutorial powers, if you want, in order to bite harder on their work to get more results. For the clashes, they are nothing to worry about, and that's what he's been telling us. We'll be bringing you all the updates. The discussion can continue on social media on the work of the Public Accounts Committee. From the Aqua Safari Resort here in Adan, I am James Abejiken, and the Pulse team takes on from here. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, James. And today we put the spotlight on exceptional change makers honored at the 2026 Joy News Impact Makers Award for transforming lives through education, clean water access, and women empowerment across the country. In the education category, Faith Akufo-Addo was recognized for her innovative, technology-driven teaching methods, which is improving learning outcomes for students. Felix Akonta Akakpo was also honored in the education category for personally building and donating a KG to JHS School Complex, serving nearly 1,000 children in Ketu South. Dr. Anthony Akunzule received honors in the Wash and Women Empowerment category for his work in providing boreholes for underserved communities and championing initiatives that strengthen women's economic development and empowerment. Lady and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. I want to begin with you in the studio, Doc. Before we came on air, I said that I'm really inspired by the fact that a man has been honored in a women empowerment category, and of course, WASH in addition as well. What prompted you to venture into women empowerment and ultimately WASH?
Well, thank you. Once again, I would like to thank the multimedia group for giving this prestigious award, as I said, especially in women empowerment. My motivation for doing work to improve the livelihoods of women is the fact that Agri Memorial said, when you educate a woman, you educate a family. So based on his philosophy, I felt that empowering women in our society is a powerful tool that will affect the livelihood of everybody in their family and in Ghana as a whole. That is the motivation.
Right. Mr. Akakpo, you've built a school from KG to junior high school, correct? That accommodates almost 1,000 students. How difficult or easy was that?
Oh, anyway, thank you for your listeners. I came from a community where access to education is very difficult. So children from a community walk a long distance, about 6 kilometers to a school. So I decided to build a complete school. So I built a school from KG, 9-unit classroom, and then I'm also building another 6-unit classroom block for the same school. And then that particular school, I provide free education, free and compulsory education for about 1,300 students there.
Right. And Faith Jakpasu is joining us via video link. Faith, welcome to the program. as well. I want to find out from you what inspired you to do what you do, your approach to using technology and inclusive methods in teaching. What was the inspiration?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much, lovely listeners. So I can say that as a public school teacher, I saw a lot of problems that the learners go through. Some inability to read, some come to school in need of basic school materials. So I decided to be the change I desired in the life of these learners, and then including technology. We will all assent to the fact that in contemporary education, we cannot rule out the fact that technology enhances effective teaching. That's my inspiration in inculcating all the technological tools and apps and all the knowledge I would want learners to acquire in the classroom.
Dr. Akunzule, I will come back to you, but let me go to Mr. Akakpo again. I think it's very inspiring and very touching that you build a school for almost 1,000 students. How are the students receiving this, and their parents and the beneficiaries? How have they received this?
Oh, it's a good news to them. Even though government couldn't employ teachers to the school, they only send a headmaster to the school. So I have to employ about 18 teachers for them. So every month I have to pay allowance to those 18 teachers.
Wow, so you pay the teachers yourself?
Myself, because government as a whole couldn't provide teachers to the school. They only send a headmaster to the school without teacher.
How about the students? Do they go to school for free? Do they pay school fees?
They don't pay school fees.
So all they need is to just pick their bags, come to school, learn,
read, and go home.
Wow, amazing. Doc Akunzule, yes. I mean, at your age, some would argue that you should be retirement, sipping on some champagne in your retirement home, having a good time at home. But here you are, still on your feet, doing what you do. Is it the fact that the women in your family gave you the motivation to empower women, your mother? Is there any woman in particular who you looked at and said that I want women within my area to be like this woman?
Okay, I really said it. It is starting from my mother. My mother gave me the inspiration because she was in our community, was so helpful to other women in the society. Then also looking outside the box, I realized that Yaha Asantewaa was a woman, but she was able to fight the British. So it means women, given the necessary encouragement, given the necessary tools, can go out their way and help society, like Yaha Asantewaa, like my mother. And so that is why I feel that empowering women is the way forward. And as I said, Agri said, when you educate a man, you educate individual. When you educate a woman, you educate what? Whole family, whole nation. And so women, as I said, are the cornerstone of every society in the whole world. That is why, if you know that there's a push for women to have some quota in parliament, it's because when we have women in parliament, then their voices can be heard, and when their voices can be heard, society's voice can be heard. That's why there is that provision they are pushing for women quotation in the Ghana's parliament.
Let's talk about WASH. We know how difficult it is to come by clean water and sanitation where you come from. How has your initiatives in WASH changed your area that you serve?
Yes, I come from the Upper East region, more specifically Kassina-Nankana West and Kassina-Nankana East, where much of our activities are concentrated in the whole of that Upper East region. Well, for example, school children walk for hours to go and fetch water. And in so doing, they become so tired that sometimes when they go back to the classroom, they cannot concentrate. And there's one school which will provide water. They cross the road, and sometimes the cars come and knock and kill some of the students. So seeing this, providing boreholes in schools for school children, it reduces their labor and it enhances their learning capacity in the schools. And it also increases their health well-being because they have clean water to drink. You know, they say water is what? Life. So because of that, I see water as a key component of the life of the school children that can enhance their learning capabilities and that can make them not to be carrying water on their heads from rivers, and the water they carry from the river are not even clean. So providing clean water is key for the school children.
I'll come back to you. Let me go to Faith on Zoom. Faith, how have your innovations impacted students, particularly in underserved communities?
Yes, so thank you very much. I think personally, I am a learning designer. I make sure I design lessons to make learners enjoy being in the classroom, because apparently no learner can enjoy the lesson well if the lesson is not designed to suit the different types of learners in the class and the way they take in what is being taught. So apparently, designing very attractive and innovative teaching models for learners makes them so happy and then will want to come to school every day. And in relation to menstrual hygiene, I saw learners always coming to school, staying in school without some supplementary sanitary towels for them to change and quickly go back to school. So I think designing the pad bank, the sanitary pad dispenser, an emergency period kit, the menstrual hygiene calendar, and then, of course, other models had helped learners stay in school whenever they stay. Some, after they have stayed, will want to go to the house to say that they are going to change because there are no supplementary towels, and some are even being mocked. So period shame and period poverty was something that was something that I really wanted to tackle in the public schools. And I think these interventions and the provisions of sanitary towels had really helped girls stay in school even if they were menstruating. And then in training teachers on contemporary issues in education through the Rebranded Teacher Initiative had also helped teachers to gain knowledge and effective and innovative teaching strategies and theory-based teaching strategies that enhances their lessons in the classroom. So primarily, I can say it has been so far so good.
What changes would you like to see in Ghana's education system to better it?
So primarily, one thing I'm so passionate about is the fact that our policies are in such a way that teacher development is at the center of our educational sector. Because apparently the teacher is at the center of everything that happens in the school. So if teachers are better equipped, if teachers are paid well, if teachers are trained in contemporary issues in education, I believe it will be a game changer. The heart of education is the teacher. And if the teacher is empowered, I believe the classroom will be a better place for the ordinary public school learner.
Faith, I want you to hold on for me. I'll come back to you. I still have Mr. Kakpo and Dr. Akum Zule in the studio with me. How do you keep up with this? How do you keep paying teachers, students, feeding them, not feeding them, but giving them access to education, which is essentially not free in some places? How do you keep up?
I use all the income I make a month, plus my allowances. I use it to pay them. And I'm also doing not only education. If you go to Ketu South there, I built police station with police quarters. I built a chief compound with nurses quarters. And I'm now building clinic in all the 5 senior high schools in Ketu South. And then the 2 projects I'm currently doing now is the ASOTEC So in Apla, we don't have a park. So we only play the ball inside water, or either in the sun or in the water. So I've decided that no, going forward, that we cannot continue playing ball in the water or in the sun. So I'm filling about 20 acres of the lagoon.
Wow.
So that we'll use it to build a assorted park on it. We are supposed to buy sand about 2,500, but so far I bought 1,500. So by the close of the month, I think I'll buy the remaining 1,000 to fill the entire area. And then that project, the entire project will cost me about 7 million Ghana cedi. And then I'm also building the Ketusa Health Directorate. And according to them, the project will cost them about 40 million Ghana cedi. And I decided to take that project and do it on behalf of the community.
So why are you doing all this?
I came to realize that Ketu South haven't seen much needed development. I think only election time they give us target that Ketu South need to bring 100,000 votes. But after voting, we don't really see any benefits. So I decided as a youth chief, a development chief of Afro Traditional Council. Actually, I'm the one who took over from the late Comrade Jumo. So I decided to draw a plan of how we are going to develop the Afro and then the Ketu South within 5 to 10 years. You can see that even if you go to Afro community, most of the community, even common basic water, we don't have. Go to Agbozuma and Kliko enclaves, common water to drink, they don't have. They don't have. The entire community, about 100,000 people, they don't have common water to drink. So we need to come together as one people. If we can support, then they should come on board so that we can push hard. If government can find, if government did not come, we should be able to do something on our own while hoping for government to come.
Right. Dr. Akunzule, what keeps you motivated upon all the things that you do for your society? What keeps you fulfilled and motivated, and you go like, oh, I think my target has been achieved? What keeps you fulfilled?
Yeah, what keeps me fulfilled is the fact that some of the people, the women that I provide support, they sometimes call me and I express their appreciation. For example, there's one woman that I supported in my village to start some cocoa business with just some little money. Then one day I went home and she came to my house with a bowl of granules to thank me for the gift or the giving her capital to start a cocoa business. That bowl of granules is symbolic, and I was so surprised that she took that and then she. Then about some of the women groups in the communities. For example, in my community, they have composed songs in my honor for what I have done for them. So I'm hearing my life, while alive, I'm hearing praises. So I'm not dead and they give me tribute when I'm not.
Right.
You see, and I have these songs that are composed in honor of what I have done for them. So all this are kinds of urging me do more, because you see that the people are appreciating the little you give to them. And one of the big women groups I support, they have given me citation, where I'm a patron, the women in poultry value chain. I should have brought a citation for you to see.
Right.
They'll give me a citation of how I have started the group, and so many. So these are the things: the citation, singing songs in my honor, give me some little gifts, and I mean, they keep on say, okay, go ahead, keep on doing it. So that is the motivation.
Were you surprised when you were announced as the winner in education at the Impact Makers Awards?
Very, very much surprised.
Why?
Because I do these things without any thinking back I'll get something. Because I have already got my satisfaction. As I said, I got my granite from my woman village. I have in my village, even this in my village in December, they honored me with a big smoke. And then, as I said, so I was surprised and I didn't really expect it. So when they asked me to send pictures, I was even reluctant to send pictures of what I do. So really, it was a big surprise for me.
Right.
And my family didn't know.
Faith Jakpasu is still with us on Zoom. Faith, in the next few years, when you are not around, when all of us are away, what would you like to be remembered for?
I only want to be remembered as a teacher who once lived. I want to be remembered as a teacher who made the school a sanctuary for learners. A sanctuary basically as a place that learners could come to and have the hope and the belief that they are at the right place. I want to be remembered for. I want to be remembered as a teacher who made life very easy for her learners, and a teacher in whose hands no learner failed. I just want to be known as a teacher who once impacted her generation.
Do any of your peers find inspiration in what you do and have decided to follow in your stead?
A lot of teachers, you know, as part of what we do and as part of the criteria of the National Teaching Council, as an outstanding teacher, you have to share your best practices, probably on a daily basis for other teachers across the country to emulate. So on Facebook, TikTok, seminars, a lot of teachers text me on daily basis to tell me I am an inspiration. Some tell me they are modeling. Some tell me they look at the teaching aids I create and they create some share pictures with me. I have also groomed some to also become outstanding teachers in Ghana.
Right.
And yes, a lot of teachers. I find it so fulfilling for somebody to tell me that I am an inspiration. And that is the reason why even when I feel tired, and I have the mind of person, I can't just because I know that a lot of people are looking up to me.
And what does the Impact Makers Award, you winning it, mean for you?
It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. In fact, it was unfortunate I wasn't there in person to receive this award. And jokingly, my husband told me, I know you would have cried if you were there. The word education means so much to me. Anytime, even though we don't do this for the cameras, we don't do it for people to sing our praise. But then when times like this comes, it reminds you that you are actually doing something.
Right.
And what even gets me so happy is the fact that I see the kind of people that have been mentioned as the judges. And I tell myself, if these people could sit down and see that people like me, I have done something, it means that I have come too far to stop what I am doing. And so it makes so much to me. I am so happy and I'm so grateful to Joy News for this recognition.
Right. Mr. Akpalu, what keeps you going?
The youth in Ketu South keep me going.
And what does this award mean to you?
This award tell me that there are more to be done in the society. Because if you go to my community, you see that things are not in order. So me myself, I've set another goal to train about 3,000 young people. So after the BC, I will select 300 students yearly for 10 years. So I started last year, sent 300 students to senior high school and watch them see their performance do it for 10 years. Let me see how the result will be. So I believe that in the next 10 years, I should be able to get about 3,000 young people who will become engineers, lawyers, judges. So it will help my work much more easier because they will all come to support my initiative, which can also help us to develop the constituency the way I prefer it.
What would you say to people who have the means to support you or to support Ketu South but are not doing it? What would you say to them?
I only want them to come on board because there's so much work to be done. I quite remember 2 months ago, I went to a community, Akufo-Addo, and the school was so bad. So we needed about 150,000 Ghana cedis to renovate the school. So when I went there, Richard Ahangba, the communication director, he also from that community. So I donated 100,000, and then he gave us 100 bags. And then I think we spent about 120,000 there. So we are left about 30,000 to go and complete that work. So going forward, I need people who can help. Not in monetary value. You can say, oh, because we have a lot of problems there. All our schools, they are all in bad shape. Our even common network we don't have in Ketu South. The entire Ketu South, we don't have network. We don't have network. So if government can come on board, say, oh, let do this, let do this. I think to help. Most of our community road, they are all in bad shape. Only vote they give us target that, oh, we should be able to meet 100,000 votes. But after we meet 100,000 votes in Ketu South, nothing happen again. If my brother Fifikwete is listening to me, this is the time for us to come together. Let's focus on what we can do to develop the Ketu South.
He's also from Ketu South.
He's also from the Ketu South.
A lot of prominent men from that area, aren't there?
Oh, Abla Jifa, she's also from there.
Yeah.
But we are not seeing the impacts. We are not seeing the actual contribution. We want to see more.
Right.
Well, people, they are suffering. I told you a whole community, we don't have common water to drink. They don't have common water to drink for almost 6 years now.
Wow. Dr. Akunzule, I believe that you can relate a lot to some of the challenges that he's mentioned in his area, right? Yes. What are some of the most difficult and harrowing stories that you hear and you even get shocked? People tell you that this and this is what is happening to us, and you yourself, you even get shocked.
Yeah, I just shocked because what maybe I have earlier said, women walking for long distances to go and fetch water for household use. Children also walking for long distances to go and fetch water for school use and not learning. And the other shocking news is sometimes you will see that somebody just needs some little capital investment to start a business, like I've told you, and they just can't afford. And when you do it to them, they honestly do the business very well. So these are the horror stories of women needing support and women not being organized into groups so that they can be supported by NGOs, by the disassembly, or for any organization that wants people to work in groups. So that really has motivated me and to work or organize women into groups at the community level, then at the national level. For example, one of the women at the national level, what we call National Association of Women Bee Farmers. With that, with my support, strengthening the women organization, they're able to secure funding from the Australian High Commission to do start up a demonstration center at Akuse area, so that they can be a demonstration center for rabbitry, for mushroom, and for their bee farming. So this is happening because the women do not, if they were not organized into group, they will never have that support from international organizations. But when women are organized into associations, then they see them as formidable. They see them, their unity as a strength, and they are willing to go out, all out to help them to improve their livelihoods wherever they are.
What would you like to be remembered for?
What I want to remember for, that's an interesting issue. I would like to be remembered for whatever we are doing now. Or when I'm gone, I'm gone. You see, so I'm there doing it as I said, this award is not a glory to me, it's rather a burden for me, because I'm able to do more for society than before, because I now have that tag of Joy News Impact Maker.
Award, yeah.
So after that, what next? People were asking.
Yeah.
So maybe the more I work to improve the more lives, then I remembered for whatever I'm doing presently.
Right.
Especially for women empowerment.
Yes,
that
exactly.
Is a great issue that I'll be remembered for.
Indeed, Doctor.
Because I'm a man, yet I'm supporting women empowerment.
Kudos.
A singular remembrance for me.
Yes, you're doing amazing. And so is Felix and then Faith. Dr. Anthony Akunzule, he was honored in the Wash and Women Empowerment category at the just ended Joy News Impact Makers Award. Felix Akonta Akpalu was also honored in the education category for building and donating a school which starts from KG to junior high school, which has about 1,000 students. And also Faith Jakpasu was recognized for her innovative technology-driven teaching methods, which is improving learning outcomes for students. Lady and gentlemen, congratulations. Thank you for all you continue to do for society. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Moving on, 24-year-old Sarah Akpalu lost her sight at age 8 after battling Stevens-Johnson syndrome, a rare skin disease. But the condition is not stopping her dream of becoming a journalist. She yearns to use the power of the microphone to champion the cause of vulnerable people in society. Ramat Bashiru has more in our continuing series, Disabled.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the 1800.
It's few hours to the 6 p.m. bulletin on campus radio at the University of Media, Arts and Communication. Sarah Akpalu goes over her scripts one more time before entering the studio.
Coming to you live from our studio here at 32nd Akufo-Addo Nassau Avenue.
The final year journalism student has done this many times on campus, but every bulletin still demands preparation, focus, and confidence.
I research, maybe I find a topic and I research on it. Then I take some points, then I build on it to write my stories.
But Sarah's journey into journalism began with a sudden illness years ago. She could see normally, play with friends, and was among the top students in class. Then everything changed within days.
I was having headache, and I took some paracetamol. And the next day, I was feeling pains on the eye. I was admitted. From that time, I didn't know what happened again. It became serious on my skin. I am unable to see well. So that's how it started. And it left me with blindness.
Before losing her sight, Sarah dreamed of becoming a nurse or an accountant. But after becoming visually impaired, people around her questioned whether those ambitions were realistic. So she made a different choice.
It seems all our professions are one or two sides. It's either you be a teacher or a lawyer or you work at the social welfare. So I decided to do something different. Even though we have some one or two people who are journalists, so I wanted to come and see if I can break the barrier of we being limited to some occupations.
Sarah says acceptance has not always come easily. 2 years ago, she applied for an internship at a media house. What happened there nearly made her give up on journalism entirely.
Please, it's time for the evening news.
Okay, sure, come.
I remember last 2 years. I wanted to do my internship, but when I took my letter there, the receptionist told me that this work is for the sighted. So he didn't even take the letter to consider or something.
It's rather unfortunate, and I can appreciate the impact on her confidence, because it is not dignifying that every person with disability, because of our lack of responsiveness to their challenges, have to go on the street to beg. And if people are making the effort, the least we can do as a state is to implement the laws we have made to protect such people.
So I felt bad, because from there I was asking myself that, so what am I even doing in the school if I wouldn't get a place to work? Hello, good evening, and welcome to the 1800 News Bulletin here on Radio GIJ.
For Sarah, journalism is a way to challenge perceptions about disability.
If I become a journalist one day, I'll be able to speak for persons with disability, children, and women, and sometimes some men that also have challenges.
Sarah's experience is not isolated. The vice president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Rebecca Ekpe, believes there is space for journalists like Sarah, but she says the industry must take deliberate steps to make this space truly accessible.
As we think about moving forward, those that are not able to catch up, how much of it can we offer them, even at their level of vulnerabilities? And that is a responsibility on the media to be able to highlight their plight, so that duty bearers will be able to pay attention to them as well, and know that if the duty bearers are not aware, they are not able to pay attention or provide what they need to provide. And which is why the role of the journalist is very critical in all this conversation.
But for her lecturer at the University of Media, Arts and Communication, Idris Husseini, the challenge runs deeper. He says, without structural changes and conscious inclusion, opportunities for persons like Sarah will remain limited.
Right. So our duty as an educational institution is to prepare her and psych her. It is also up to the working environment to also prepare themselves to receive her and people of that special, needs. Right. So if we have such a collaborative agreement, or if we have such cooperation, I think cooperation is the best word to use, then of course it becomes very easy for them to find spaces within the media space to work. They are not discouraged, they feel empowered, and they feel emboldened to work there. And it comes in so many ways. Even the organizations themselves putting systems in place to help them thrive is so important. And I think media houses also have to make it as a policy. They should have something like disability policy in case they have people with such special, who need such special attention, how the media space is designed to integrate them in the mainstream media work. That is so important.
Governments admit persons with disabilities still face discrimination. But Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Namumulati says the Disability Act protects their rights and insists situations like Sarah should not be seen as hopeless.
Sarah, the implementation of the 5% employment captures people like Sarah, and so we are trying as much as possible. You might have also seen in the media spaces our efforts towards having a comprehensive database on what the needs are, because the fact that you have a group of persons with disability doesn't mean that they all have the same challenge. So we'll look into the issues of Sarah. It will be a delight to look at her specific issues and see how we can support her. But by all means, she's on the right track, and I want to say to Miss Sarah Akpalu that you are doing the right thing by getting education and certifying yourself. Very soon you will graduate, and we are going to work with you.
For Sarah Akpalu, living without sight has changed her life, but it has not changed her ambition. Every bulletin she reads, every story she writes, and every step she takes across campus is part of a determination to prove that disability should never define possibility.
Can you close it?
Ramat Bashir for Joy News, Accra.
Yes.
Oh, nice. So what are you able to help her with?
That's it for the polls this evening. My name is Kenneth Gyasi. Have a good evening.
From Africa to football's biggest stage, you are invited to be a part of it. Feel the rush, the passion of every moment. Don't just watch the game. Live the FIFA World Cup experience. With VIP seatings, exclusive lounges, gourmet dining, priority access at every turn, luxury all around you. Seamless, effortless, exceptional. Because this is more than a ticket. This is your FIFA World Cup 2026 experience. Brought to you by Match Experience Hospitality. Call 055 155 1119 or visit matchexphospitality.com to secure your packages, or walk into any Absa Bank branch, our official banking partner, for more information and payment.
Now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park.
Welcome to Safari Valley Eco Park.
Our electric shuttle pulled up, and in no time our tour began. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the Eco Park. We were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through orientation and how to better enjoy the experience. Watch these animals roam freely in their natural habitat undisturbed by our presence. We saw zebras, sable antelope, brown cranes, mara, silky chicken, nyalas, Shetland ponies, and so many animals I just couldn't keep up. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Then we took a break to have lunch in this serene environment. All this amazing experience for this price for adults? This price for teenagers. It's a bargain. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before dinner by the campfire. It's been a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait till my next visit.
Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
Yes, also available Kidivite multivitamin drops for babies under 12 months. Grow strong, grow healthy with Kidivite. Distributed by NS Chemist Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
The battle line has been drawn and history is calling. 2 giants, 1 trophy. Will this be Arsenal's first ever Champions League trophy? Or is PSG lifting it again for the second time in a row? Join your number 1 entertainment radio station, Hits 103.9 FM, at the Aviation Social Center as we watch Arsenal versus PSG battle on a giant screen. Ghana, get ready for the Hits FM Rep Your Jersey 2026. This year, we've ramped up the excitement with sports quiz, soccer tournament, the Champions League anthem competition, esports, JAMA, and more. All roads lead to the Aviation Social Center. Swag up your jerseys. Wear your football club jersey proudly. And let's all meet at the Aviation Social Center from 10 a.m. to late. Mark the date, Saturday, 30th May 2026. And get ready for lots of fun with friends and family. Entertainment with your favorite Hits FM personalities. Music with a Hits FM DJ squad. And amazing prizes to be won from 10 a.m. to the climax of the UEFA Champions League finale match in grand style. The Hits FM Rep Your Jersey 2026 is powered by Joy Sports with support from Joy Prime, Joy News, Joy FM, and My Joy Online, and proudly sponsored by TCL, Inspire Greatness, Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuel for all. Soccer Bet, your best bet for sports betting. Didi Shito, Efiedienye, Heineken, share the passion. Twisco chocolate food drink, power your dream. Ashesi University, educating the next generation of ethical and entrepreneurial leadership for Africa. Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services app. Abaco Services, baby. Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phone Papa Pafi. Day by day men, strong and refined. The skincare you deserve. Heritage Christian University, educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. Citizen Sports Mall, level up your game. Aqua.natural mineral water. Obenum Manum Bium. DSTV. Feel every moment. The Hits FM Rep Your Jersey 2026.
All right, because this is Let's Talk Showbiz. Don't get it twisted. I'm actually at the car park of Multimedia, and I'm about to meet one lady who you guys have heard her sing one popular song, and she's all over the place. But she's out with the new one called Count Your Blessings, and I'm about to do a very beautiful interview. You get to know her personally, talk about music, talk about life, talk about the fact that she's also a pastor. And I'm about to meet her. She's in the person of Petra. Come with me whilst I meet Petra. Petra.
Hi.
This is the woman of God. Trust me, this is the woman of God. And then she's a very personal favorite. I mean, I love her so much when it comes to the music that she does. She's always looking graced.
Is it?
I mean, every time you see her, she's always like that.
I try.
Exactly. Petra, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How is ministry? How is music? How is life? How is family?
Everything is fine by the grace of God. We are pushing.
I see. So before that song, before the Yewuna became popular, I mean, it's a song that most of us grew up listening to it. Of course. And then you actually popularized it again and you did a very beautiful rendition of it, made it look more ballad. Before that time, what was Petra doing?
I was still doing music. I was still doing ministry. I started doing ministry full time. No, let me not say full time because I still do other things aside ministry rather. So I started doing ministry, like focusing on ministry and music in 2017.
2017.
So from 2017 up till now, I've been doing music.
So it's being church music, as in you being at church doing church music, not commercial music.
True.
I see.
True.
But at the point when you were doing the church music, were you still having at the back of your mind that, I want to do one of these my songs to actually
of course.
go that level?
Okay, I would say that I started doing music professionally in 2017.
Okay.
So I started recording YouTube medleys on YouTube. So it's been a long time coming because I've been doing medleys on YouTube since like 2019. Okay. I released my first original song in 2022. So it's been a long time coming.
Like 2022 song,
putting out projects. He is God.
First official song 2022, He is God. How did it go for you?
It was great. I mean, it was great. But that is one project that is very interesting to me because whenever I listen to it, I'm like, what? I still had a lot of growing to do. I still had a lot of learning to do. The way I sound in the song was interesting.
Was it Kwabena standing there right and that pushed you to release that song in 2022?
I'm telling you.
He pushed you.
Yes. And I even remember having an interview here when that song was released.
I see.
Yeah.
Kwabena, why?
Why?
Kwabena, why did you allow him to release the song? Kwabena is actually standing here. I'll get to know why he allowed you to release that song in 2022. Anyway, but that's fine. Okay. So after you released in 2022 and then you realized the fact that you need a lot of growth, a lot of stuff to actually come into it. Yeah. I mean, what then became that idea for you that, okay, this is the level I want to start going to? Was it more or less like going to do more voice training, more you're looking at what you will look like if you're on stage, if I should put it that way?
So I took a lot of time to sit back and build myself. I had to do a lot of unlearning and relearning. I had to do a lot of sitting under people for them to mentor me and all of that stuff. So it took quite a number of years before I finally said to myself, okay, I'm ready to continually put my projects out there.
I see. So which were some of the people that were actually mentoring you?
Okay, there are no people that are well known.
No, that's fine. I mean, by the way, your music directors at church?
Of course, my music directors at church, and somebody that is like a spiritual mother to me, Mrs. Adelaide Clothe. Wow. Those were the people that were mentoring me and just teaching me, okay, do it like this, do it like that, go there,
Okay.
and all of that.